It's coffee time, it's coffee time, it's the One Pot Chef drinking coffee in time. And that's still crap. Welcome to Coffee Time, the fortnightly chat show here on the One Pot Chef blog where I answer questions sent in by you. If you've got a question that you would like to answer in the next edition of Coffee Time, which incidentally will be the last Coffee Time for 2012, as I'm taking a little break over the Christmas season, leave it in the comments section below here on YouTube. Alright guys, let's get started on the questions. Just bring them up. Let's see. First one comes from Jack Wilkins, and the question is, I have friends and neighbours who can't eat gluten. Would you ever consider any recipes to cater to that, please? I did gluten-free brownies recently, actually, and they were a massive hit. They were so yummy. I made it because somebody suggested that they wanted a dessert type thing that was gluten-free, and I found this recipe for it, and I was a bit sort of suspicious about it because it didn't have flour, it used ground almond meal and stuff like that. I wasn't sure how it was going to come out taste-wise, but it was really, really yummy, and it was the moistest, fudgiest brownie I've ever had. So go and check that out on the cooking channel if you're interested. I can't say I've gone out of my way to find a lot of gluten-free recipes. I tend not to go for too specialised stuff on a regular basis because it tends to confuse viewers who are new to the channel. They think, oh, it's a gluten-free channel, oh, it's a vegetarian channel. So I generally do recipes, and if they happen to be vegetarian or gluten-free or dairy-free or whatever, that just happens to be a sidebar. But if I find any other interesting gluten-free recipes that sort of tickle my fancy, I'll definitely be doing them in the future. Next one comes from Halo99900. What is your favourite animal and why? Can't say I'm a big animal fan, although can't go past Topaz the Wonder Cat. I've never been an animal person. Like the most pets I ever had as a child was a fish, and I wasn't really that fussed on that either. But yeah, Topaz has grown on me, and it's sort of like having my little fluffle to cuddle now and again when she's feeling like in an agreeable mood. It's quite rewarding. So I would definitely have to put Topaz down as my favourite. Next one comes from Chubbs and Chibby's mum, I think. I'm not sure. Can you schedule a meetup with your American fans when you come to Southern California? I live near Disneyland and I am a fan of the Aussie chefs. I probably will be doing something like that. I haven't got the final plans for when I come over to Los Angeles at this point. We're still in the process of getting everything organised because there's a lot of planning and stuff to go into it, obviously, but I will definitely be organising at least one sort of meetup somewhere, like some public place or something, where if people want to come and say hello, they're more than welcome to. Yeah, so I will give you guys sort of notice of it and let you guys know when it's happening. So stay tuned. I will sort of get back to you eventually about it. So I most likely won't be going over until New Year, probably late January, February sometime, maybe. So stay tuned, details to come. Next one from Ella1346. What is your favourite dish you've cooked or eaten? It changes all the time. People often ask me what's your favourite food, and it changes from week to week because I'm always trying new things and go, oh, I love that. But I made, and it's coming up on the cooking channel very soon. I think it may already be up on the cooking channel by the time you see this video. But I made these beautiful little lamb patties and put it with feta cheese and tomato on pita bread, and oh my god, it was good. It was simple. It had just lamb, garlic and mint in it. It was just delicious, and I've made it at least 3 times since I've made that video, and it was just so yummy. So I'll be making that one on a regular basis until I find something else that'll become my new favourite. Next one, ASMR Badger. If you could work with one chef in the world, whether it be Jamie Oliver or Gordon Ramsay, who would it be and why? It wouldn't be Jamie Oliver or Gordon Ramsay. I've got issues there, but no, I've never been a big fan of Jamie Oliver, and I can't really sort of specify why. And Gordon Ramsay, I just find sort of like he's a big attention whore. Like, he really makes chefs and cooks and people who work with food to look like raving lunatics, because and it's clearly sort of putting a lot of it on with his screaming and carrying on. So, like, I'd rather he focus on the food instead of himself. But if I had to choose one sort of famous celebrity chef, TV cook, or whatever, it would probably be Nigella Lawson, simply because she is such a natural in a kitchen and in front of the camera, and she does this beautiful food that not only tastes great and looks amazing, but is easily reproduced. And that's something that a lot of TV cooks and chefs and whatnot have difficulty doing. They will often do these elaborate recipes that are extremely difficult to reproduce in your own kitchen, and people sort of get discouraged. So, yeah. Next question. From Fraser Trench. Oh, he's got a couple of questions. Ever had sexual relations inside the kitchen? And would you still do your YouTube channel if you got a spot on TV as a chef? Well, I don't think I've ever had sex in the kitchen, but I've probably not sort of stopped cooking long enough to have sex in the kitchen. As for that other option, the TV chef thing, I actually did apply for a certain TV chef thing, competition thing ages ago that shall remain nameless, and one of the conditions was that I actually had to shut down the YouTube channel, which I wasn't that fussed on. And I've heard a couple of other people have had that that condition imposed on them who do cooking channels. And so, yeah, I don't really see myself ever doing TV. I think that what I do on YouTube is not necessarily translatable to TV, because I tend to do short little videos as opposed to sort of like half-hour long cooking shows. It could possibly happen, but I don't see it happening. I certainly like it, but if I was doing a TV show, I probably wouldn't be able to continue doing the YouTube channel, if not for logistic issues, but probably for legal issues. Like, there would be sort of copyright things and all that sort of stuff that would become into play. It would be very complicated, but I don't know. It's an increasingly hypothetical question. I have no idea. I don't see myself ever doing TV, but if I do, we'll see how we go. The Whispering Eagle asks, would you consider doing an episode of the One Pot Chef in drag? No, dear. I make an ugly man. I make an even uglier woman. I don't think I could ever do a One Pot Chef in drag. That just, I don't think anyone would want to see that. It would be a monstrous look. So no. Mad WWE boy, have you ever tried Hershey's Mr. Crackle? Is it Crackle? Krakl. I've never even heard of it. No, I've not tried it. So it sounds interesting. A crackle, Mr. Crackle. It's not just crackle, it's a Mr. Crackle. Got to go the respect. No, I've never heard of that. I might look that one up and see what it is. James Ring's blog. You're a sexy bitch. Oh, that's not actually a question, but thank you very much. And may I say you're a sexy bitch too? I've seen your photo on Facebook. FMed201. I'm new to your channel but love you. My question is, have you ever considered being a comedian, and do you know Alan Carr? I've never considered being a comedian, no. I think, I don't know, I'm not good at telling jokes. Like, I'm sort of good at conversation and sort of funny things that I say like that, but if you ask me to tell you a joke, like the only joke that I remember is a stupid joke which nobody ever gets unless you've ever done some kind of, I don't know, art course or something. How many surrealists does it take to screw in a light bulb to get to the other side? See, no one ever gets that joke. That's the only joke I remember, and no one thinks it's funny. God, I'm sad. Alan Carr. Is that the guy with the glasses? The really gay one from the UK? Chatty Man. Yeah, I've seen him occasionally. I can't say I find him terribly funny. I must admit I prefer Graham Norton. I think he's very good. But yeah, I've heard of him though. Noobs Fan Sub. Do you like to cook with pumpkin puree? Oh, do you mean that the stuff in the can? We don't actually get it in Australia, the canned pumpkin puree. I've heard of it because a lot of Americans use it for things like pumpkin pie and whatnot. And I know when I was looking for a pumpkin pie recipe ages ago, it was all using the canned stuff, and it was impossible to find it here. So I ended up having to use fresh pumpkin and roast it or steam it and go from there. But yeah, it would be one thing that would be nice for actually having over here. Unfortunately, pumpkin in Australia isn't generally used for desserts. It's actually considered a savoury thing. You have it like roast pumpkin with roast potato and roast beef and stuff like that. It's unusual to use pumpkin for desserts, except for maybe making pumpkin scones, and they're often considered to be savoury as well. So, so don't sort of cook with it very often. A pink gumdrop. I like that username. Since it's coffee time, how do you take yours? What's your favourite video that you've done so far? And would you say hello to my best friend, Lauren? She loves your cooking videos, but seems she's too shy to comment and tell you so. Well, hello, Lauren. Hello. Okay, so coffee time. How do I take my coffee? I take my coffee 2 sugars and a bit of milk. Never been really a big fan of black coffee, but it depends on the blend. But I generally, it's 2 sugars and milk. Favourite video that I've done so far? Good question. I loved how the Nutella cheesecake came out and the New York baked cheesecake. That was probably, cooking video wise, was probably my favourite one, that New York cheesecake one. Only because the picture of it when it was done was just so gorgeous. It was one of the most prettiest thumbnails I've ever taken for a video, and yeah, I would say that's probably my favourite. So, hello, Lauren. Mary CC. Do you have a falafel recipe? If you don't, pardon me, if you don't, can you make one? Excuse me a second. I talk too much. No, I don't have a falafel recipe. I'll add it to the list because it's something I really should have a go at. I haven't made falafel before, so I'll add that to the list and see if we can come up with that sometime soon. Gadgets forever. What sort of music do you like? My taste in music is frightening. People get really disturbed about my taste in music. I'm very much a 70s, 80s sort of junkie, a lot of disco. I'm not a big fan of modern music these days because it all seems to be sort of just remixes and like, I hate that crap. I love the girl groups of the 50s and 60s from Motown. I love a lot of the older songs are coming back in shows like Glee, and they're sort of getting rediscovered by a new generation. I love how they're sort of putting their own mark on these old classic songs. So I've got more than a few Glee songs on my iPod, so which is a sad admission. Next question. MNDYDLTN1980. I can't even figure out how to pronounce that. Oh, okay. Hi David, my name is Mandy and I'm a huge fan as well. Do you believe in the paranormal, ghosts, etc.? And are there any haunted places over there? I don't personally believe in ghosts and things like that. I think there are probably more logical explanations for what people sort of claim are ghosts and things like that. There are a few sort of ghost tour type things over here. The quarantine station in Sydney is a good example. It was, I think it was back in the early 1900s, there was a quarantine station set up in Sydney for people who were coming into the country. They were put out there to sort of make sure they weren't bringing disease into the country. And it's now a dilapidated pile of crap. Basically, it's falling down, but it's been heritage listed, so no one can knock it over. It has to be protected. But they do ghost tours there because of all the supposed ghost sightings and things like that. Personally, I think it's just sort of a giant old building that's literally falling to pieces, and in places has fallen to pieces, and it's just creaking noises from that. But I've never believed in ghosts, but I'm sure there are people out there who think that my sort of not believing it is totally insane, so I think everyone's entitled to sort of believe what they believe. Avoir Chaud, I hope I pronounced that right. I would like to know, what is the most difficult dish you have prepared and what were your end results? Let's have a think. I don't know. I tend not to do totally difficult recipes. I would probably say, and it sounds really strange to say it, but lasagna. Only because I tend to do everything in a lasagna from scratch. I will make the bechamel sauce from scratch. I'll make the pasta sauce from scratch and the make the beet and whatnot, and then assemble it all together. And it's not so much difficult as it is time consuming, and so I don't do it a lot, but when I do, I do a big lasagna, and it's thick and it's delicious and it's got cheese everywhere and it's yum. But yeah, I only do that very occasionally, probably maybe once or twice a year. But yeah, it takes a while. It often takes me a few hours to throw it all together and then put it into the oven, but it's worth the wait. And I have done a variation on my one on the cooking channel years ago, very many years ago. But yeah, that's probably the most time-consuming thing. But oh god, it's good when it's done. Maggie12310. Would you ever consider doing some basic how-to do things cooking videos? For example, how to chop an onion, poach an egg, etc. I actually did. I did a poached egg video, God knows how long ago, but I actually did it a few years ago. I did a spin-off series on the cooking channel called, what was it? Quick Tips. Yeah, Quick Tips. And the idea was it was going to be a video once a week that goes for a minute and just quickly gives a little kitchen tip, like how to clean with vinegar, how to keep your eggs fresher longer in the fridge, how to store herbs and spices and things like that. It didn't go down very well. A lot of people didn't like it because they just wanted to see recipes. So I did like 3 or 4 episodes and eventually sort of gave it sort of time and death and left it, which is unusual because like it was a massive failure at the time. But one of those videos, I think it's the vinegar one where I was showing people how to clean with vinegar and stuff like that. I think it must have got featured on somebody's blog or on a website or something, because it went from like having 1,000 views in 2 years total, and it's now had something like over 100,000 views, and it shot up like crazy. So the other Quick Tips videos have just languished there and done nothing, while this one's just skyrocketing. So I have considered revisiting the idea, but I actually did a little survey of my viewers recently, and I sort of suggested, would you like to see this? And there seemed to be a lot of people weren't that fussed on the idea, so I'll consider it and see what happens. But who knows? Who knows what the world will bring? Deb276, who's your favourite celebrity chef and why? Oh, we've covered that one, I think, Nigella. And yeah, so yeah, I'd probably put her down as that. The Aussie Dingo, what advice would you give someone who is just starting a cooking channel? Good question. I often get asked by a lot of people who are looking to start doing cooking channels, and they say, so like, what did you do to get successful? What did you do to this? And I'm there going, well, I don't know. I just muddled through and went from there. Because there's no sort of secret formula as to how to get a successful cooking channel or any channel whatsoever. If there was, everybody would do it and then there would be no success. But I think the biggest piece of advice I can give you is if you're planning to open a cooking channel, you've got to be passionate about what you're doing. If you're doing it because you think opening a cooking channel is going to be your recipe to internet stardom or whatever, don't do it. Simply because you don't become an overnight success doing a cooking channel, and you need to have a genuine passion for what you're doing. If you're just basically following a recipe you found in a book that you've never cooked before, and it comes out looking like crap and you upload it anyway, people are going to get turned off really quickly and just sort of go, why are we watching this? Like, you've got to have at least some skill at what you're doing, and you've got to actually enjoy it, because it is a full-time job, and it will be eventually. So, like with me, I was doing this for like 3 or 4 years before it got to the point where I was actually able to do this as a full-time job. So it's not an overnight sort of thing. You've got to have a commitment to it, and you've got to really sort of get established with your audience. You've got to have a connection with them. You've got to interact and answer their questions and be willing to communicate. You can't just upload a video and then forget it and never bother to read the comments or answer anybody's questions, because people will just get sort of like, well, what's the point? Like, the whole point of YouTube is interactive, and when it comes to cooking shows on YouTube, they're more so, because you'll always have people going, oh, I don't like such and such an ingredient. Can I use this instead? Or what would you suggest? And you can't just let those sort of things just lie. You've got to respond to them. So, and if you ever get to the point where I am at the moment, you'll find there's a lot of questions to go through. I get a lot of questions every day, and I'm falling behind more and more, so I sort of try and sort of dedicate a couple of hours every day to answering people's questions. So that's probably the best advice I can give you, is make sure you're passionate about it and be willing to make a commitment to it. Aussie Zach, what's your favourite TV show? At the moment, probably The Walking Dead. I've been absolutely loving it, and it's one of those shows where I wouldn't have expected it to be something that I would enjoy, because I've never been a big fan of sort of zombie type things. But I think it's because the zombies aren't really the primary thing about it. It's the people, the actual human characters and their interactions and their struggles that are more interesting, and the show tends to focus on that. So definitely The Walking Dead. Yum. What are we up to? RHJHAS. My question is, if you could choose to visit any 3 places in the world, where would they be and what attracts you to those places? Oh, people ask me this all the time, and it changes, and I have to, because I'm very scatterbrained when it comes to travel. I go, oh, I want to go there, I want to go there, I want to go there, I want to go there. And then like a week later, you'll ask me the same question and go, no, I want to go this place and this place and this place, and they're totally different. Okay, at the moment, top 3. I would say number 1 would have to be Machu Picchu in Peru, because I want to see this city above the clouds. It would be the most magical, amazing experience to go there, and I would absolutely die to go there. I'd love to go to New York, because New York is just sort of the massive centre of food. There's every type of food and culture that you could possibly find in one place. It would be like a foodie tour from heaven to go there. And thirdly, probably Italy. I would love to go to Italy and go and look at some of the ancient Roman ruins, taste real Italian food in Italy. It would be an absolutely wonderful place to go. Yeah, so that would be the 3 places I would want to go. Cornbacco. Have you ever been to Ireland? Also, have you ever tried Guinness? No, I've never been to Ireland. I would love to go there, because I've heard wonderful things. It's sort of like very friendly country, most of the time. As for Guinness, I've tried it once, and I personally thought it was disgusting. I think like Vegemite, it's something you have to come from a background of people who enjoy it and have to have it on a regular basis to acquire a taste for it, because yeah, I thought it was gross. But I'm not a big beer fan as it is anyway, so I probably had a head start on that one. Capoleon 187 or Capoleon 187. What is your opinion on the George Foreman grill? I used to have one, actually. I used to have the original one with the temperature dial on it, so you could change the heat on it. They don't make those anymore. They now just come with one heat. You switch it on and it just heats up. And I actually used to use it on a regular basis. It was great. However, it was a pain in the ass to clean, because you'd clean it all off, and it had a special thing that went between the ridges and stuff, and it would clean it, and then go, okay, fine. And then you go back a few hours later once it's completely cooled off and dry, and you'll notice all this sort of fat underneath it that you've missed that will go and solidify, then you have to go and clean it again, and you'd think you got it all, and then you'd find more of it. But once that was aside, it was actually really good for cooking things, especially if you had like, if you like to have sort of cook things on a regular basis, like bacon and sausage and things like that, like breakfast type meats. It was great for that. Yeah, I don't have one anymore, though. I haven't got around to replacing it. I wish they'd bring back the one with the dial. That would be great. Grey Neko, have you ever tried ropa vieja, aka old clothes? It's a Cuban dish and absolutely yummy. Also, do you like sashimi or sushi? Okay, I have no idea what ropa vieja, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, old clothes. I'm not familiar with Cuban cuisine, but that's something I might actually look up, only because I have no idea what that is, and it would be interesting to see what it is. As for sashimi and sushi, I can't say I'm a huge fan. I don't mind some sushi items, but yeah, it's not my first choice. Like, I would probably choose other things over it, but there are some things that I like here and there. The decoy? Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 30 duck-sized horses? If it's anything like the ducks that have been creeping around my backyard recently, that sort of appear every few months or so, I would definitely not want a horse-sized one of them because they're vicious bastards in the normal size. As for 30 duck-sized horses, I mean, God, you could just kick them, couldn't you? I don't know. This is a very weird question. No idea. Sprint King 76. Oh, dear God. You're at the supermarket and a serious dilemma has arisen. The main ingredient for your next cooking video isn't available anywhere. Who would win, Chuck Norris or Jack Bauer? What? I'm confused. I have no idea what that has to do with anything. Chuck Norris. Okay, we'll leave it at that because I'm confused. My brain hurts. Copycat Chef. I love your channel. As per your last video, here is your new theme song to the tune of Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. Please don't hate me. Oh, God, okay. Alright, Pots, masticate and listen. One Pot's back with the brand new edition. My pants grab hold of me tightly. I'm watching too much Coffee Time and pigging out nightly. Will it ever stop, yo? I don't know. I'm just trying to cook some food, but it's all been done by Nico. To the extreme with a knife and no handle. Check out this vlog where I deep throat this candle. Oh, God. I love that. I love the Nico reference. That's awesome. Oh my God, don't ask me to actually sing that. I don't think I could do that. I'm not a rapper at the best of times, although admittedly neither is Vanilla Ice these days. Next one. What can you do with rice noodle? Do you like soy sauce? Do you like Tangtastic Haribos? I'm not sure what Tangtastic Haribos is. What can you do with rice noodles? I use them all the time. I use them sort of for basing on stir fries and all sorts of things. As for soy sauce, I chuck soy sauce in everything these days. I love it. I do a lot of Asian sort of recipes. I do love fried rice and love stir fries, and there's always soy sauce in there somewhere, so yum. Kelsey80, if your house was on fire, name 3 things that are most important to save. My partner, my mother-in-law, and the cat. I think everything else is replaceable. Well, the cat's probably replaceable, but that's not the point. I wouldn't leave it to burn to death. Yeah, that'll be the 3. If you mean material objects, though, yeah, I don't think there's anything in my house that I would sort of risk being burnt to death alive for, so let's face it, my crap ain't that good. Probably grab the camera. It's probably the most expensive thing in my house. I wouldn't let that burn. Okay, Ninja Dude 1021. Have you ever participated in No Shave November? I don't know if it's something international. Men over here in the US around college years do so. Yeah, we call it Movember here. And basically you grow a moustache in November for men's charity, usually prostate cancer or something like that. I did it a couple of years ago, and now I've got weird cooking videos where I've got this disgusting looking handlebar moustache and it looks awful. And I'm constantly having to reply to messages going, why have you got a mustache in this video? And I'm there going, it was for charity. I hated it. I hate growing a mustache, and I hated having a beard and stuff like that. It just didn't work for me, and it looked really bad on me. Like, I can do a bit of stubble, but I can't do a mustache itself. It just looks weird on me. So I probably won't be doing it again. But I am sponsoring a couple of people this month for Movember, so that works for me. that's as much Movembering as I'm getting into. Wendy2584. Love the coffee time jazz hands. Oh, thank you. What would you consider your signature dish? Probably increasingly my mother's lemon cheesecake, simply because it is by far one of the most popular videos I've ever done. And yeah, sort of, it's the one that most people seem to associate with me. It's the one I get the most subscribers from. It's just one of those ones that seems to sort of stick to me. So yeah, lemon cheesecake, awesome. Yeway 23 or Yeway 23. I've always wanted to try the famous Tim Tam and the Tim Tam Slam, but can't find it anywhere here in Ireland. Would you please send me a packet? I'd love to. Unfortunately, and I've had to tell this to a few people recently, is that I've had to stop posting Australian things to overseas people, candy bars and whatnot. And the reason was that the cost of it has just become insane. The cost of postage and shipping from Australia is ludicrous. I went to send, I think it was like 5 or 6 chocolate bars to somebody in the UK recently, about maybe 2 months ago. The packet that it was in was about just under 500 grams, so it wasn't very heavy. It was only a small little envelope, and it was going to cost me like $35 to post it, and that's not including the cost of the actual stuff in it. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, it's so expensive. $35 is a lot of money to post like 5 chocolate bars or whatever overseas. Like, that's insane. That's not what am I doing? My fingers. Anyway, yeah. So I just I've had to stop doing it, which was sad because, like, I love the idea of sort of doing an exchange with people, but there seems to be a lot of people online in the taste test videos in particular who are often saying, I want to do a taste test video, I want to do an exchange with other people, so send me a private message and we'll send stuff to each other. And that's good. I'm creating something there, but yeah, I personally can't send things out anymore. However, if you wanted to buy them online, I know for a fact there are heaps of online stores that sell Tim Tams. You can buy them on eBay. Just look up Tim Tam on eBay. I guarantee you will find them somewhere. I'm told you can also buy them on Amazon, but I'm not quite sure about that. I can't see that being right, but some people have said you can buy them on Amazon, so it might be worth investigating. So good luck. Hopefully you can find some and do your Tim Tam Slam. I haven't done a Tim Tam Slam in years. I should do a video of that. Do you reckon I should do a Tim Tam Slam? Leave me a comment in the thing below and let me know if you think you'd like to see me do a Tim Tam Slam. Cheslaw Mayor 012. Recently, Barack Obama was re-elected president. When you heard this news, were you shocked? Do you like Obama? What do you think of him? I have very little opinion about it, to be honest. It was all over the news here in Australia about, like, for the last few months about the presidential election, but to be honest, it has very little bearing on us. Like, I don't know what his policies are. I frankly don't care, to be honest. He's not president of my country, so it seems that most Americans seem to be happy with him being back again, so that's good for them, I guess, but I can't say I have any strong feelings towards him one way or the other. I don't really know anything about him, so I try to avoid politics in Australia, let alone international politics. Hillsman25. Please could you maybe do some Aussie dishes such as kangaroo casserole, roast ostrich and crocodile curry? Not one of those is an Australian dish, and I have never seen anyone make one. Roast ostrich, there are no ostriches in Australia, it's emus. So, and they're not roastable, you don't buy emu. I think you can get kangaroo steak at the supermarket, and I think crocodile you can get as a specialty item, but it's not an everyday cuisine. Most people don't eat them. They're generally sort of a novelty more than anything else. It'll be like sort of going, oh, I'm going to go to England and I'm going to eat, I don't know, what's something strange, like badger stew. It's a British animal, so they must eat them. But yeah, no, we don't do a lot of crocodile curry. I blame I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, because they got the impression that everyone in Australia now eats camel testicles for breakfast, which just doesn't seem right. Hillsman25 again. Okay, who do you prefer of the following? My tongue. Ant or Deck? I don't know which one's which. That's the two hosts from I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I can never remember which one's which. I like the little one. I don't know which one is he. Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver? Oh, God. Neither. David Cameron or Ed Miliband? I know David Cameron, I think, is the Prime Minister of the UK. I have no idea who Ed Miliband is, so, and I can't say I know enough about either of them to say I have a preference to either one. Ian Hislop or Paul Merton? I don't know who they are. I don't know who either of those people are. David Mitchell or Lee Mack? I know both of them from QI. I think they're both funny, but I'd probably say Lee Mack, only because I kind of find him cute. Wallace and Gromit? I haven't seen Wallace and Gromit since I was a kid. I don't know which one's which. Is Gromit the dog? I like the dog. Arsenal or Spurs? Oh no, not British football. God no. Every time anyone asks me this, I end up getting 3,000 people going, "You can't believe you said that." I have no idea. I don't know. I'm afraid to say Arsenal because everyone always says Arsenal, and then it's like one of those divisive things. I have no idea. I don't follow the sport. I'm going to say Arsenal and go for it, and get ready for the complaints. Xbox skills. Would you ever consider moving away from Australia? I don't know. Maybe. I guess it would depend on the circumstances. If I got offered a job, like a really great job in another country, maybe. I don't know, but I'm not sure. You never know. I might possibly be relocating to America. It depends how all this stuff in LA goes in the next couple of months. You never know. Anything is possible. I've been recording videos all day and I'm losing my voice. Licho3440. Have you ever been to LA before? If so, how long ago? It's a lot has changed, mostly for the better. The city has become a lot cleaner and safer. I've never been there before, so when I do go over there, it should be interesting to see what it's like, because it'll be like a completely alien experience for me. You've got a couple more questions. Is there a Starbucks in your town? How about a Chipotle? What's a Chipotle? My two faves. I'm assuming Chipotle is a restaurant or something. There's no Starbucks near where I live. There used to be, but almost all of the ones in Australia are shut down, if not all of them. They went bust because, they just weren't very popular in Australia. I've never heard of Chipotle. I'm assuming that's some kind of Mexican food, maybe? I'm not sure. Have you ever had, or do you have a Christmas custard pie recipe? If not, can you make one? I've never heard of a Christmas custard pie. I've got a few Christmas recipes coming up. Not a custard pie, though, but I have done custard pie on the cooking channel before. That was, I did it as a custard tart. It's really, really nice. So, go over and check it out. I'm sure you'll like it. Sprint King 76. Do you have any of the favourite porn... Do you have any favourite porn parody movie titles? For example, Goodwill Humping, Dick Man and Throbbin', Star Wars The Empire Licks Crack. Yes, you really did ask that question. Oh, dear. I have no idea. See, I don't watch sort of straight porn. I tend to watch gay porn, and I don't think they ever do any sort of porn parody type things like that, at least not that I know of, but Goodwill Humping sounds like fun. Killing 4B Flowers. At the start of the videos, do you say "on the One Pot Chef" or "I'm the One Pot Chef"? Do you know what? I get asked this a lot. It's on, O-N, on the One Pot Chef. Is it like, I'm making chocolate starfish on the One Pot Chef? Chocolate starfish? Why is that the first thing that comes into my brain? Chocolate starfish. Oh my god. I blame Sprint King 76. He's got me into a porn thing. So, yeah, on the One Pot Chef. That's what I say. Can you say, till then, see you later? Till then, see you later. You posted a couple of questions. Do you get paid by YouTube? Not directly, not anymore. I used to get paid ad revenue from YouTube, but now I joined a YouTube network a few months ago called Tastemade, and I get paid by them to make videos. But so it's a full-time job now, so that's what I do. What's the one cooking item you want but can't have? I don't know. I want a waffle iron. That's actually something I would like. I haven't got a waffle iron at the moment, and I would love to. I'd love to make waffles at home, but I haven't got one, and I keep meaning to go out and buy one and make waffles, but I don't have one. That's probably it. I'm easily suited, what can I say? Coming up towards the end here, people. What's the next one? Will you do the BF tag? It's always fun to watch, from FMed201. I don't know what the BF tag is. Is that a tag video thing that's going around? I haven't seen that one. BF tag. I'll have to look it up. Aza Productions MI. Have you ever heard of the Soda Pop Stop in LA? Do you, or would you plan on visiting it in LA in the coming months? I would love to hear your take on the place. No, I've never heard of Soda Pop Stop. I'm assuming it's some kind of convenience store or something, maybe? I don't know. Um, I'll keep an eye out for it when I go over there. I can't say I've ever heard of it, though, so something to explore by the looks. George Crossley. Thank you for answering my last question. Could you tell me any other food channels rather than the main ones like Sorted, Nico, and You, who you watch and would recommend? I think I did that in the last video. I think I gave a few sort of... One of the coffee times recently, I don't think it was the last one, I think it might have been the one before, I did a few shout-outs of various cooking channels that I check out. So, yeah, but there's a few of them out there. It's sort of just a matter of taking a bit of a look. Dead Aza. Someone gave you a bag of dried cherries a while ago. What did you end up doing with them? Not a lot, actually. What was funny was I opened them up and I thought I'll have a taste and I might use them in sort of some muffins or something like that. And when I opened them up, I had a taste. I go, oh, that's really nice. And my mother-in-law was there and she goes, oh, can I try one too? And I said, oh, sure, here you go. And I think like the phone went off or I got distracted and I went to go and do something else. And when I came back to go and grab the cherries and do them, they were gone. And she'd eaten them all. And she goes, it's all right, I'll go and buy you some more when I'm down the shops. And I'm there going, I didn't get them from down the shops. They got sent to me from the US. They don't sell them here. I was like, no. That being said, I'm told they were very nice. And the one that I had was very nice too. So, yeah. I was going to make muffins, but I had to go without. Alright guys, we've come to the end of coffee time for this edition. So again, if you've got questions for the final coffee time of 2012 coming up in 2 weeks' time, leave them in the comment section below here on YouTube. And until next time, lots of love to you and I'll talk to you later.